Hello and welcome to this short video in which I will explain the tolerances and acceptable clearances between the components in the friction stir welding process. My name is Sahin Sünger. I am the head of the Friction Stir Welding division at Grenzebach. Let's start with a look at the acceptable clearance at the joint between the components to be welded. Depending on the type of the joint, there are different approaches. The joints are often designed as a butt or overlap joints. First, let's talk about the butt joint. Ideally, there should be no gap between the components to be welded. However, it is hard to avoid gaps in butt joints since the joining partners usually come with geometrical tolerances. Friction stir welding is performed without filler material. Therefore, if there is a gap between the joining partners, this may lead to either a seam underhang, reduced seam strength, or in the worst case, to pores in the weld seam due to the volume constancy. For an optimal result, the resulting gap width may not exceed 10% of the welding depth. This should be considered when designing the tolerance chains. For overlap joints, the situation is different. Here, the gaps are horizontal and can usually be pressed down to a technical zero gap with the use of a clamping device. However, problems arise when discontinuities are present in the overlap area. Examples are fire cracks in cast components or excessive pores and blowholes. The heat offset in this case would be about 0.4 mm, which equals 0.02 inches. Differences exceeding this must be mechanically machined. This can, for example, be done by grinding or milling. Compared to the butt joint, width and length tolerances tend to be irrelevant as long as the required edge distances are ensured, which is explained in further detail in the video Design Guideline for Friction Stir Welding. To conclude, I would like to point out the key takeaways. The resulting gap width must not exceed 10% for butt joints. In contrast, the heat offset or gap for overlap joints is 0.4 mm or 0.02 inches. Generally, we recommend the use of overlap joints. Thank you for watching. I hope this video was helpful. For further details, please refer to our white paper down below or feel free to reach out to me and my colleagues.